Well, all eyes will be focused on Wall Street tomorrow morning and the opening bell as U.S. stocks plunged in after-hours trading tonight. The sell-off in response to President Trump's decision to impose sweeping tariffs that could upend the global economy. Dow futures plummeted more than 1,100 points, or 2.7%. S&P 500 futures sank 3.9%. Well, one set of tariffs that will take effect in less than an hour, the 25% tariff on all imported auto parts. President Trump announced a new 10% tariff on all countries and additional reciprocal tariffs for countries where the U.S. has a large trade deficit. According to the White House, steeper tariffs will apply to about 60 countries, including several you see there on your screen. Raya Katene has more on what this means for Minnesota businesses and how it could impact all of us. Raya?
Well, Julie, even the economists I spoke to within the last several hours who actually study global supply chains and trade, they tell me they're still digesting the president's announcement. There are, of course, varying opinions. Some within the business sector see this as a moment of opportunity, but a U of M professor tells me it will damage both our economy and global reputation.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time.
What some see as a day of liberation.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn.
Others say is a day marking the beginning of hardships to come.
I see no positive impacts from this policy whatsoever.
Dr. Carlisle Ford Runge is an economics and global trade professor at the University of Minnesota. He says President Trump's sweeping tariffs will hurt consumers.
These will be very substantial increases in the price of all kinds of goods that come into the U.S. from all over the world. It will be extremely costly. I think it's very ill-conceived.
The president says the tariffs are necessary to, quote, ensure fair trade, protect American workers, and reduce the trade deficit.
Let's navigate this as best we can. We have amazing companies in Minnesota that are very innovative, very resilient.
Minnesota's Chamber of Commerce represents more than 6,300 companies of every sector across the state. The group's president says businesses are assessing their supply chains and figuring out how to best move forward.
Say they need 100 different components to build a product. They'll look at which parts of those are now subject to restrictions. How does that affect their pricing structures? Do they have alternatives to those supply chains?
He hopes this will lead to changes on a state level, from quicker permits to taxing structures to support Minnesota businesses.
How do we make sure that we take advantage of the moment?
No matter how you view this moment and this day,
It's our declaration of economic independence.
what seems to be certain is the uncertainty that lies ahead.
Minnesota's biggest trading partners, that's Canada and Mexico, are not affected by this order because of the existing 25% tariff on goods from those countries. But imports from our third largest trading partner, that's China, will be subjected to an additional 34% tariff on top of the existing 20%. So that means Chinese goods, Julie, will face a 54% tariff.
All right, we'll certainly be watching that story in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you, Raya.